This month marks the 30th anniversary of the classic film series Back to the Future. The first movie was released on July 3rd, 1985. Since I'm not really a movie guy in terms of what I cover here on the YouTube and of course on Examiner, let's instead look at the franchise's bizarre history with video games. Not all of them, of course, but select few to drive a point I'm trying to make. Let's begin bypassing the first games initially released on computers with the NES and Back to the Future 1. It's reminiscent of Paperboy, where Neighborhood Street is filled with random obstacles. For Marty, he must navigate through the suburbs, avoiding tires, glass panels, oil spills, and more, all while collecting time. It's obviously a rush tie-in to the first movie. Not a great start, and nothing different from what we're going to be looking at next. Alright, so the second film received 3 games. First, a combo pack with both 2 and 3 included for the NES. It has a DeLorean at least, but it's just as frustrating as the first game. There are dinosaurs and weird monsters making it feel like a weird Castlevania ripoff. It's just pure awful. It's been covered on so many YouTube channels of just one of the worst games ever created. There's even like a spiked turtle shell that looks like it's coming right from Mario. There was also a Sega Master System game, which isn't any better than the previous entries, of course, but it does have the hoverboard and a catchy chiptune of the series theme, so at least they got that license. It's actually similar to the first NES game in that you're trying to avoid these weird obstacles like a toy car, and oil spills make their triumphant return. There was one other game based off of 2, Super Back to the Future 2. It was only released in Japan on the Super Famicom. It has amazing art, great music, and solid gameplay, though it arguably has nothing to do with the movies, just like the other ones, and is brutally difficult. Then of course we have Back to the Future 3 for the Sega Genesis, and I just don't want to talk about it. Except for the Super Nintendo game, they all reek of cheap cash-ins with developers who are unfamiliar with the movies and or had little time to create anything clever. It actually stars the Doc for once and has horses and cowboys, but it's also auto-scrolling like the Master System game and is impossible to navigate. The last game we're going to be looking at for Back to the Future is an adventure game series created by Telltale in 2010. This was pre-Walking Dead, prior to the team really hitting their stride. The puzzles are more obscure, harkening back to the classic adventure games. While difficult to handle, it is notably based off of the films, with returning cast members like Christopher Lloyd reprising their roles. It takes place after the third movie, where Marty is trying to stop the Doc's death yet again. It's not as good as any of the films, but it has an A for effort from me. With all that said, what would it take to make a good Back to the Future game? Well, I don't have an answer yet. However, next month, in celebration of Chrono Trigger's 20th anniversary, one of the best RPGs and one of the best time-traveling games of all time, I'll be looking at the many examples of time travel in video games. An idea may spark from them, but for now, please go watch the Terrific Trilogy in celebration of this awesome, awesome franchise. They still hold up, unlike the video games. Talk to you next time.
Boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, subscribe, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, subscribe.